It is an idea that many agree needs to happen, but for close to 4 decades, it has been stuck in a very slow-moving debate about state spending and available resources. It involves a stretch of South Dakota Highway 34 from Interstate 29 west to the city of Madison, as well as the thousands of cars that travel that stretch of road every day. Brian Allen has more on that, new at 6.
It's frustrating when a good idea ends up essentially sitting on a shelf. The idea we're talking about has been there for a long time.
It is many decades old. The 4 for 34 committee was probably started somewhere back in the 80s.
You heard Madison Mayor Roy Lindsay correctly. For upwards of 40 years, there's been an idea to expand Highway 34 from a 2-lane highway to 4 lanes from I-29 exit 109 all the way west to Madison.
In a perfect world, it would be 4 lanes because it is one of the busiest stretches of road in the state.
Madison is a city that's growing, more than 6,000 residents now. The city is also home to Dakota State University, fast becoming a national leader in cybersecurity. The city is making a real infrastructure investment as well. New roads, new sewer lines, a new industrial park, a new connection to Lewis and Clark Regional Water. All projects aimed at supporting the city's growth. But the one-lane nature of Highway 34 raises safety concerns about being able to get to Madison.
The turn lanes on Highway 34 were designed for cars and pickups, not semis and double semis.
Over the last decade or so, several of those turn lanes along Highway 34, including those that allow access to the Dakota ethanol plant just east of Madison, have been redesigned, made longer so semis don't have to dramatically slow down to make a turn. While those smaller projects have made the roadway safer, it is not the widening of the roadway that would allow a smoother flow of traffic for not only passenger cars and semis, but also vehicles towing boats and jet skis to nearby Lake Madison.
Is there still a desire to have it 4 lanes to the I-29? The answer is yes.
State Department of Transportation numbers from last year show more than 20,100 cars travel Highway 34 between I-29 and Madison every day. So how does an idea with merit and decades-long support from the leaders involved languish for 40 years?
It was a viable idea, way back when. It certainly is today. We see growth across the community.
Casey Crabtree is a Madison resident and a business leader. Casey Crabtree is also the majority leader of the South Dakota State Senate.
Certainly Highway 34 is very busy. We've got lots of manufacturing equipment that is being trucked in and out of here in Madison.
Crabtree tells me expanding 34 has merit and he wants to see action to move the project forward. But it likely will not come from the state Senate or the state House, at least in any formal way.
And when you look at what the DOT does on a day-to-day basis, I think they do a very good job in a number of areas.
Crabtree tells me the ball is ultimately in the hands of the South Dakota Department of Transportation and whether SDDOT wants to invest the time and, just as importantly, the money it would take. Mayor Lindsay and Senator Crabtree say they have done what they can and that they will continue to talk about the need with whoever will listen.
We're always looking at new businesses that want to locate in Madison, and with that we'll bring additional traffic on Highway 34.
It is something that will always be in the discussions when we're meeting with DOT, or when I'm meeting with DOT. Not only this, but a number of other projects that are important to the future of Madison.
In Madison, Brian Allen, Dakota News Now.